one note here. That way you can lift your hand up and drop it. Okay, do the climax again. That's right. It's easier to play that. That's right. Aim with your thumbs. That's good. So it's ironic, of course, that Mr. Kabalevsky added the octave there so that you could make it louder. But when you're reaching for the octave, because your hands are still growing, you are not able to play from high in the air because you're afraid you're going to miss it, and I understand that. So you're not able to play it loud. So it's actually you're able to play it louder playing one note than if you were playing
more confident and more faster.
That's right, exactly.
I think I know Mr. Kabalevsky do the octave because like some kids like older than me, like 8 years old, 10 years old, could like reach the octave.
That's exactly right. Yes. And in fact, I'm told by many Russian teachers that I know that they were very surprised to see someone like Eunice playing this piece so young, because usually this piece is given to teenagers.
Oh.
Yes, because it's very deep. It's very grown-up kind of music, and they think that young ones are not mature enough to understand. To understand the music. But you're doing very well on it. But of course, all composers add more notes when they want it to be louder. So, for instance, in the Liszt B minor sonata, one of my favorite pieces, it's a big killer piece.
Killer?
Yes, and it's a scary piece. The main theme does this. But that's not too loud. The beginning begins with just a slow, quiet, spooky introduction. Very spooky.
So that's a spooky piece.
And also a scary piece. That's the theme that I showed you a moment ago. He wanted it to be loud. So he changed it from single notes to this many notes. Very scary piece, but look at how many keys. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 G's. And 4. Why? You wanted it loud.
It's trampoline. The piano is trampoline.
Yes.
Yeah, like a trampoline?
It's trampoline.
It's trembling, yes.
It's
Especially
shaking.
the lamp is going, too scary.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's shaking.
There we go.
But he's like,
Like that, yes. So composers always do that. They add more notes when they want it to be loud, but yours is not that loud. And that's just the beginning of the piece. The whole piece is about 35 minutes long, without stopping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, long piece. It's a whole book.
whole book?
That's a whole
Yeah,
book.
whole
Yes.
book.
One book is the one piece.
For one piece, yes.
Yes.
Well, the mazurkas is stuff always.
The mazurka that's a whole book of mazurkas, but there are about more than 50 mazurkas in there. So this I'm talking about, this book is only one piece. Sonata by Liszt. Anyway, let's get back to work. Let's do our climax here.
And the climax?
Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5. And use your body, lean in. Nice. And one note. Remember, one note. Forgot. Left hand up. 1, 2, 3. Up, strong. Good. Quiet, super quiet. Wrist, please. Ooh. Right. Okay, let's do the climax again so we get that moment. Don't forget to use your wrist on all those sorts of watches so they're reliable. You want to make sure that the notes are all clearly there.
What is reliable?
It means you can depend on it. It means that when you don't use your wrist, sometimes the notes don't sound.
Yeah. Make it a consistent sound.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like that, yes,
You make
exactly.
it consistent.
Okay, let's go again from the climax. Third finger on that low C, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, left hand, 2, 3, 4. Now lift and shush. Beautiful wrist, right hand, wrist up, wrist, on right hand, wrist, and 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, retard, and right, 4, 5, 6, whisper part here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, ooh, deep sound on the low one, whisper part on the top, right here, yes, deep sound, good, 2, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, don't change pedal here, 5, and 1, 2, 3, left foot right, ooh, yeah, once again, right, when right hand has finished, I want left hand to be super quiet there, again, 2, 3, yes, do it again, get the right rhythm, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and don't change pedal here, this is one pedal, right, 3, 4, 5, 6, deep sound, 2, 3, super quiet, 3, 4, 5, up, right, coming along nicely. Let's try that coda one more time. These. Don't get too slow too soon. He says in the last line, ritardando al fine. And that means getting slower and slower and all the way to the end. Okay?
That's French.
No, it's Italian.
Italian?
Yes.
Oh, I think it's Italian.
You're right. It's Italian. It's a good guess. Ready? Italian is an international language for music. Almost all of the composers write their introductions in Italian.
Even Russian composer?
Yes.
Oh yes, this is Kabbalah.
This is Kabbalah. That's right. Yes. There are some composers, especially in the 20th century, that started to use words in their native language. Beethoven, late in his life, started to put things in Italian and in German, because German he could say more exactly what he wanted to say. And the French composers early on, around the turn of the century, were using the same Italian words, and then they would start to sprinkle French words in, and then towards the end it was all in French. American composers these days use Italian, but also use a lot of English too. Ready? What you messed up there in terms of the rhythm in those last couple of measures is something that musicians call a written-in retard. And that what it means is that your left hand, which all the way through all the way through has been going. You told me last time that it's a pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through the whole piece. 3, 4, 5. And the rhythm's always the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end here, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Sounds the same as all the rest of these, but it's much slower. And he does that because it's the end. So it sounds like a retard. You know what I mean? Okay, good. All right, we'll stop there. Good lesson. I think next lesson I'll have time to hear your dance, your Kavalevsky dance.